Hello, hello.
Oh,
How are you doing today, Danny?
doing good. How are you?
Upright breathing, not in jail. Today's a good day in the city of Baltimore. I tell people that and they look at me with a really funny face and I'm like, "Don't worry, bro. Like it's just my way of saying it's another day in paradise, you know?" So, uh all right, hold on. Let me go ahead and get everything set up. There we go. All right, so for those of you wondering why we're doing this on a Friday, number one, I wasn't able to stream on Tuesday due to still being at festival and being on site, so I wasn't able to stream and do the video. So I messaged Danny asking if we could do it this on Friday morning, Thursday or Friday morning. And to be honest, Danny, I actually kind of like doing it on Fridays, like
Yeah,
Friday mornings. Now, after fair, once I swap jobs, we'll have to rework something again, as per usual. Nothing new. But hopefully, once I swap jobs, that will be the permanent schedule for it. So expect it to be either Thursdays or Fridays, uh, roughly around when the TWAB comes out. Speaking of which, I heard the TWAB was late yesterday, and all I heard and saw on Twitter was, besides RIP the Queen, was hashtag where TWAB. Um,
yeah, that's yeah, pretty normal.
um, anyways, along with that, uh, Danny, how are you doing today?
Eh, pretty all right.
You got anything special lined up for the weekend?
For the most part, just chill stuff. That's about it.
All right, hold on. I've got to scroll through. Oh no, never mind. It's your pinned tweet for this week. Okay, so let's see. So you've got more Faso Blade today, so that's pretty cool.
E.
I love what you said for Saturday. Taking the time to just consume all of OBS.
Yeah.
And Sunday you got a chill stream. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize that you were playing Fallout New Vegas on Wednesday.
E. I
Oh
am
shit, I missed that. I'm so
close to
sad.
the end of the game. I've been doing
Damn.
like every Wednesday for like I want to say like past 3 weeks.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't realize that you were playing New Vegas. God, that is such a phenomenal game.
So good.
It's a phenomenal game. It does not like mods.
It does not. I'm playing the backwards compatible version,
Oh,
and
oh
holy shit,
God, what is wrong with you? You know damn well what happens when you do that. You you fucked up. That's what you
it's
did. You
been
fucked up.
funny. It's been really fucking funny because literally the first 3 hours of the stream was me bullying the first merchant in the game.
You know, honestly, I'm not surprised at that statement.
I was like level 15 before I left Good Springs.
You're an animal. I mean, technically, you are an animal. You are a void cat.
Like
But that is beside the point.
I
Um,
walked out of there with like 20,000 rounds of 9 mil.
what the fuck? How did your character even manage to carry all of that?
Like never underestimate the ability to carry 9 mil.
20,000 rounds of 9 mil? What the fuck?
Yeah,
At like the beginning of the game?
yeah. I've been walking the wasteland with like a bottomless magazine, basically.
Whack. All right. Um. All right. So, I guess give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead and swap pods here. Um. Yeah, today's episode for the most part, I believe, is going to be a little short. We're gonna because we have to cover two twab. Because I know people were probably asking me on Tuesday, where twab? So yeah, I apologize. All right, uh, so September 1st was the first twab of September. So, and it's just kind of a checkup on everything that happened, so we can kind of just breeze through it, and we're gonna get to uh
Like,
I just realized I just saw the fucking the emo you posted in chat. Twab 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 twab.
accurate.
That's good. That's good. So we're just gonna kind of quickly go over this because yesterday's twab was a little bit more juicy.
Yeah, it's a little better. A little better.
Yeah, so we're basically just going to speed run this. So basically, this is kind of catching up on the King's Fall stuff, taking a look at matchmaking, and figuring out what the fuck is wrong with people and running Titan Bubble in literally every Crucible match. Okay, so they officially started, so this happened last week,
Yeah.
which was the reset for, Control for Crucible, and loose SBMM came in, and they're going to be consistently updating it, so hopefully it works a little bit better. Again, we've talked about loose SBMM. As long as it's not a hard lock SBMM, I think loose SBMM, specifically for how Destiny's PvP is set up as of the current moment, I think is perfectly fine. Because the problem is that there's no true ranked mode. Like, yes, there's Trials of Osiris, but it's not, like, ranked, right? You don't have, like, you get a title, but it's not the same as, like, getting Challenger in League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm fine with loose SBMM, just to kind of get you, because it's not going to hard stick you, because we talked about, and this was a while back, we talked about basically their version of MMR or ELO.
Yep.
And basically every match should have roughly a give or take, because originally it was plus 900 minus 900. It should now be plus 300 minus 300. So from the best to worst player is only a 600 MMR difference, if I'm correct. Which is not terrible. That's basically for those of you that play League or pretty much any game with an actual ranked system. That's basically a Silver 1 player playing against roughly about Gold 1, very, very low Plat 4s. Like, about to be demoted Plat 4s. So, yes, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it is not impossible, which is very important to note. There will always be an ability to come back, and we'll get into eruption in a little bit and about how that's made its waves this week. Default matchmaking, they're basically just kind of doing the SBMM, and they're ignoring a lot of different things. They're also having to reset a lot of stuff onto their connections, so nothing we can really do about that. Like, we get it, people's internet sucks. Nobody wants to pay for good internet. I did, because this is part of my job. So, stats from week 1. So, this is all of the stats at the current time. So, in the first week of Season of Plunder, over 140,000 hours of Control got played in the first week of Season of the Haunted. Oh, 1,400... Oh, my bad. Bleh, fucking English is hard. 140,000 more hours of Control had been played during Season of Plunder rather than Season of the Haunted, which is roughly about an 11% increase, which is pretty impressive, right? Between two seasons, that's pretty important.
It's a big jump.
Yeah. Matchmaking times went up by about 5 to 10 seconds, which all right. I want people to understand, okay? 5 to 10 seconds to wait for a match ain't shit. Like, I don't remember, Danny, if you remember when they first talked about matchmaking in World of Tanks, and they were like, "Oh God, the matchmaker's gonna be like a minute and 30 seconds. Oh my God, it's awful, huh?" Bro, challenger players on League can wait in queue for up to 2 hours. Two
Like,
hours for a fucking match.
like, all things considered, I would rather wait a bit and get a better game than just get thrown into a shit show.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my point, right? Is I would
Yeah.
rather pay the extra 5 to 10 seconds to overall have a better quality match. Like I don't want to get shit like I would rather take a 30-second wait time to have a very very good close game over a 0-second wait time and getting my shit kicked in for the first 2 minutes of the match and then get mercied into oblivion.
Yep.
So, like, there's that. Because you also got to remember, your ghost mods, for example, right? If you get, like, an example, in Crucible, every time you kill someone with a headshot, you have a chance to spawn a enhancement core or a prism.
Yep.
That's pretty fucking important. Because that's mostly how PvP players are able to fucking upgrade all their shit.
Yep.
Well, without those mods, it's basically fucking useless. So, skill differences. Oh, my bad. Here it is. So it's between 300 and minus 100, with a high average of 600 skill and regularly as low as 500. This is kind of where the skill differences are, but it's roughly about in there. So it's roughly about a 400 difference. My bad. So to make it easier, plus 200 minus 200. I don't know why they said plus 300 minus 100. I don't know. It's just plus 200 minus 200. Game outcomes. Mercy games are down 4%. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is an improvement.
Yeah.
And I will always take an improvement to Crucible. Now, if they could just fucking fix Gambit and how trashed here that fucking game mode is. Now, this is also very important. Games where the score threshold has been met remain steady, and games that go to time rose by 4%. Now, mind you, we talked about 140,000 more hours of control. Now, Danny, correct me if I'm wrong, but an average match time, at least the set time of a match, is what, 10 minutes?
I want to say it's like somewhere between 5 to 10. It depends.
So the max time is 10 minutes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So at max, if every match went to 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
What is 140,000 hours? And how many matches is that? Alone in just the bonus. Not even counting the original number. Like, think about that for a moment. That's a lot of fucking, like, that's why when I talked about this number right here, the Mercy games and these numbers, it doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot. But when you count how many matches are played over the course of a week, they add up. 4% could be as low as 20 games, or could be as high as almost 1,000 at that point. It's just based off of what the numbers are. Now, again, Danny and I are not privileged to the exact numbers, so unfortunately we can't look at that. But it's just food for thought, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Along with that, again, SBMM is working on stuff. Games where the best player had 30 plus kills more than the worst player went from 9% of games to 2% of games. And games where the best player had only 10 to 19 more kills than the worst player went from 35% of games to 55%. So a 7% decrease in shit stomps, and a 20% increase in a more... He's just having a really good game, right? Is really, really impressive. Like, that's actually an insane fucking number. That's phenomenal. Like, just looking at that alone, that is this is 2 sets of phenomenal numbers. That always makes me happy. Now, the one issue that a lot of people are having is they're having more people quit. It went from 8% to 12% in the last week. Now, the only reason I could figure out why people are quitting is because for a while, and I think you know about this, Danny, is that players were intentionally just sitting there and throwing just so they could get their Crucible, rank. Because even if you sat there and did absolutely jack shit nothing, you could still get rank.
Yep.
So now that the matches, instead of getting, the 3 to 4 minute matches where they're shit stomps, you can be like, all right, next match. Now the matches are going up to 7, 8, 9 minutes, and now they're like, well, shit, this is a waste of fucking time. I'm just going to leave, go try to find another match. That is my only thought process into why this number increased. What do you think?
It could be like a combination of that and also like the uptick in games. You have more people that will quit just in general.
Because I know some people, the moment they finish bounties, they're like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yep.
And to be honest, I don't really blame them. If I'm being completely real, I don't really blame them.
It's like after you get your pinnacle from doing the 3 matches, as soon as you finish your bounties, it's just like there's no point to continue playing.
Yeah. They are going to be working on the poor connections during matches, and they're going to be trying to incentivize players to not quit matches early. Which I think what they may do is they may... Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you quit a match early, that does not stop your streak in Crucible, correct?
I don't think it does. The only thing that really stops your streak is going into another activity. So as long as you don't launch anything that isn't Crucible, your streak is still there.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what they might do is if you quit a Crucible match, your streak resets. Which is really important because it's like a percent increase up to 5?
Oh, yeah.
Like up to the 5th streak?
If you're on 5, I forget exactly how much of a percentage boost it is to reputation, but it's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
Especially when there's an extra rank week. It's super noticeable.
Yeah, because you go from normally 150, 160 maybe a match to 200, 300. It's pretty noticeable. I've even seen some people get up to 450 with the well, specifically in Iron Banner, because Iron Banner counts for Crucible as well. So with the Iron Banner armor and the bonus Iron Banner week, it's fucking insane. It is insane the amount of gains that you can make in Crucible and Iron Banner. When you have all of the, the armor and weapon loadouts and shit. It's actually nuts. So I think that would be, honestly, the easiest way for them to handle that.
And with their changes to vendor loot, the more ranks that you reset with the vendor, the more extra perks you get on weapons. Yeah.
So it's overall better to do that way and just streak the match. That's why a lot of times when players, I apologize, I got something in my eye. A lot of times when a lot of players will knock out their entirety of the rank reset, they will knock it out on a double XP week.
Yeah,
it's
really easy too.
Yeah, people will go from 0 to legend in a singular week because
you can go through over a reset in a single week.
Yeah. Now, mind you, you and I don't fucking like PvP, so that's probably not going to happen for a while. But yeah, y'all get a point. Along with that, eruption mode came back, and we've been seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter. Players are actually very happy about eruption. Players are finding that it is really fun, and it is, for the most part, relatively balanced. Which is odd to see something happen and be balanced on release. So, yeah.
Honestly, for Iron Banner, moving the focus of Iron Banner away from control and more to just kill streaks honestly worked out.
Well, I mean, yeah, Iron Banner's made up of fucking sweat lords anyways. Let them kill each other.
How was it that someone described it to me last night? It's like cranked. That's basically what it is.
True. They have an army. We have an Ido. So Ido has been phenomenal. Along with that, last week we went to the Cosmodrome. We'll get into about what's going on this week. King's Fall raid with the side of World's First. So Asylum, yet again, as we talked about last week, won World's First for the third time in a row. Again, we already covered it last week, so I'm not going to go into it. A lot of people find, basically for those of you that missed the video, which by the way you should have gone back and watched because it's good content. There's a lot of controversy about Clan Asylum and the fact that people don't consider them a true World's First group. So we'll see what happens when the new raid comes out in the future and see how they do. Again, we've already stated our opinions on it. We're going to go ahead and pass over that. Along with that, there's a bunch of stuff here. There's a lot of stats. I don't think I'm going to really go over it. All I know is, and I quote, fuck Golgoroth.
The one thing that I want to make note of all this, 458,000 players, well, over 458,000 players took part in the day one race. Out of those, 35,678 made it to challenge mode.
Yeah, like, that's insane. Hey, what's up, Big Cirque? How you doing? So, yeah, this is...
This, by the way, is a big drop in players for day one.
Danny, do you have the numbers from before they swapped it to Friday?
The
last one was Vogue, right?
Them. Yeah, the last one was Vogue, I believe. Oh, no, Vow.
Vow, right, Vow of the Disciple. Do you have the numbers for that one? Though, to be fair, Vow is also kind of... The numbers are also skewed because it was super, super, super buggy, and it was really, really bad. It was not good. Which leads to controversy.
They do, if I remember correctly, have the numbers for how many people played day one.
Also, there was over 33 million Guardian deaths.
King's Fall with contest mode, it was hell from what I saw. Which makes sense, because it's a very ad-intensive raid.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. While you are looking up those numbers, I'm going to keep scrolling through. There was just shy of 2 million hours spent in King's Fall, which is pretty cool. That's a lot of fucking time between the amount of players. So they got to talk to Clan Elysium about everything. So they got their emotes, the world's belts. We're gonna just skip over the interview. And then they're teaming up with Team Rubicon for National Preparedness Month, which is pretty cool. It's basically September is National Preparedness Month. It's a time to raise awareness about the importance of preparing for disasters and emergencies that could happen at any time. So that's pretty cool. And they're partnering with Team Rubicon, which was founded following the Haiti earthquake in 2010, which is super dope. So again, Bungie does a lot for charities. So yet again, hats off to Bungie. They also did a $150,000 donation to Team Rubicon, which is super dope. And if you donated $50 by Friday, September 30th, at basically midnight, you will receive a special Seeds of Hope emblem, which I'm a big fan of this emblem. I think this looks phenomenal.
Their charity emblems usually do look really nice.
Yeah, I mean, they do put a lot of effort into the charity emblems, so, and that's something that I can always respect. Along with this is, I think, honestly, this right here is the most important thing out of this TWAB, which was a message to Guardians with photosensitivity. So we covered a little bit of this last week because they mentioned it, and this is their big post about it. Basically, Destiny has a big habit of a lot of bright flashing lights, and a lot of color arrays. So people that are colorblind, and people that have epilepsy. Destiny is a very, very light-sensitive game. So they're doing a lot more to try and focus on making it more available to people who would be severely affected, right? Those people with color blindness, those who have epilepsy, who can't deal with flashing lights. So they're going to be dealing with trying to figure out ways to kind of add settings to make it a little bit easier for those players, which I know that's going to be a very tough task. It's tough for any game to basically do that, for the most part. But overall, again, Bungie loves their community. Bungie loves their community. I cannot emphasize that enough. And they will always try to do their best to support their community, especially with players who are having a rough time. Because I don't know if you remember, the past couple of seasons have had a lot of seizure effects.
They really have.
I mean, let's be honest. Since Witch Queen dropped, there's been a lot of bright flashing lights. There's been a lot of super dark rooms into immediately bright white lights. Immediately back into another dark room. And then, of course, then we had Season of the Haunted, which was literally Season of Mental Awareness, or Mental Health Awareness. So, yeah. Yeah. Bungie's been trying to do their best for their community. And overall, I think this is a great start. Again, they're just doing their best to try and make sure that everybody has equal accessibility to the game. So, again, can't really be mad about this.
I found the numbers.
Okay, you found the numbers. Let me scroll back up here real quick. All right, so the total number of players that entered King's Fall 2 Raid Day 1 was 458,120. Now, mind you, this was the first time that they've done a raid, a world's first raid, on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So, the last raid, which was Vow of the Disciple, was still on Saturdays. Danny, please hit me with the numbers.
There were 546,616 that entered the raid.
So a clear 100. That's a straight up 100,000 plus player drop.
The only difference between the two is that they extended Vow's 24 hours to a 48 because it was so buggy, but that is such a massive increase in players to begin with. That's just, even with the extra time, that's a fuck ton more players.
Yeah, 100,000 is a clear kind of idea for that. So, yeah. So, we're going to go and scroll back through. Loud noises. There's some mechanics in Kingsfall that need to be fixed. They're going to be talking about that. Along with that, there's also a new bug right now. Don't go invis against Golgoroth.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Don't go invis against Golgoroth. You will lose an enemy and not be able to kill it and clear the wipe.
It has been brought up. Several people have experienced it. A few people that I have been watching do the raid, particularly streaming it, have encountered it a couple times. It's bad stuff. Do not do it. You will wipe your team.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't go invis against Golgoroth.
Yeah, invis bad.
Yeah, again, and they also went through about how to access the quests. Updates, so the hotfix 6.2.0.2, partner rewards program, A lot of known issues. We're not going to get into them because chances are I think a lot of them are having some issues. I don't like the fact that Nezarec Sin apparently is the ornament for Nezarec Sin is not being applied.
There is an issue there with the armor piece that they sold that complements Nezarex. So there's an ornament for, I think, a cloak. Well, not cloak, chest piece that complements Nezarex. It's supposed to have like an effect on it, and it isn't working when an ornament is applied to Nezarex.
So yeah, take the ornaments off. At least for now. Alright, so, Prime Gaming Engram just dropped. It is Darcy with one of its skins. Along with that, you'll get an exotic ship. And I do believe that is a Fallen Ghost Emblem.
I think it's House Salvation. So
yeah,
Beyond Light stuff.
Yeah. Overall though, pretty dope. You'll get the cleans up good. So you'll get the Darcy exotic sniper, cleans up good exotic weapon ornament, the Machino form exotic ship, the plunder projection legendary ghost hollow, which is actually that is not an old one. It is a new one. It is a prime timed exclusive. So get your Amazon Prime goodies. And a magnetism exclusive seasonal emblem. So that's pretty dope. Now we're going to go into, we're not going to be able to watch the video, but now we're going to go into the community showcase, and it's Titans versus the Taken King. I can pretty much tell exactly how this went. Thunder clapping cheeks, all I'm going to say.
Pretty much, yeah.
Along with that, Muffin Bandit posted, "It's corn!" And they basically turned a Titan into a stalk of corn, which is pretty great. Along with that, Jarhinge Art posted some art of the new Strand effects, which is super dope. We got to see that in the community showcase. Beautiful art. Love the light coloring on it and the color display. I've always liked green against purple. I just think it always looks good. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just think it looks very like modern punk. So I love this color.
It's a synthwave, like neo pop kind of.
Yeah. So
colors.
I'm very excited because I will 100% be making my character look like it popped out of a fucking Skrillex album cover art. So I will be changing it up. Along with that, Chrome IXD posted Hive Guardians and a Hive Frog, or what I like to call it, Thrive. And it's just the Hive Guardians having a good day, hanging out with a Hive Frog. So that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Along with that, I Am Beloved posted Destiny instead of Lightfall. It is Bathfall, and it's the Witness with a Callus rubber ducky with Callus in the bathtub. That's pretty great. That's
pretty good.
And I love the little like chibi style version art. This is adorable. This is amazing. Again, Destiny artists are some of the best artists I think I've ever seen. This is beautiful. I love it.
Have fun with it.
Along with that, A Future So Bright, it's calling Gondor for aid. And they're basically just talking about some dev stuff here. And I'm not, because we need to go to the next TWAB, I'm not going to go into the pictures. All I will say is Ido Booty. Yes, you heard that right.
Yeah.
So, moving on. Now we have this week's TWAB. Yesterday's TWAB, if you're watching this here on Twitch, twitch.tv/DominiFox, as we are streaming this on the 9th, and this will most likely get posted tonight, as I will be leaving to go to the festival tomorrow morning, first thing. So, yeah. Now we're going to spend a little bit more time. Weapon crafting update. This was very, very important. There's been a lot of weapons updated. And for those of you wondering, what weapons got updated to the crafting system? All of the Bungie 30th anniversary weapons got added, which, by the way, you can acquire all of these from playing Dares of Eternity, which is completely free to play. You did not have to buy the bundle in order to play Dares of Eternity. So you got both of the sides of the beam sword. You have the BXR battle rifle. You have the retrace path. You have the grenade launcher, and you have the pump shotgun. So now the fact that you can craft those, yeah. I've been seeing a lot of phenomenal BXR rolls coming out.
Oh yeah, like the enhanced traits on it, really good.
Yeah, like it's the BXR battle rifle already had insanely great rolls, and now the fact that you can personally customize them.
Yep. Like, all of the 30th weapons being craftable is phenomenal.
And they're all viable. They're all viable weapons to use. Except the shotgun. If you use shotguns, you're a scrub.
I mean, as far as, like, shotguns go, it's probably the most, like, balanced.
This is fair.
It wants you to hit fire it.
Yeah. I honestly, the 30th weapons overall, I think were a great addition when they came out with the 30th anniversary. There was not a single bad weapon out of this entire list. Straight up. Like, BXR, overall, my absolute favorite. I played a lot of Halo back in the day. I remember going back and playing Halo 2, when when the battle rifle was really first introduced in that aspect. I remember going back and playing Halo 3 ODST, where your standard weapon is the DXR. And it reminds me a lot of that. And I love it. I love that gun. The retrace path is basically the beam rifle from Halo 3. The two swords, again, they're just each a half of the beam sword. The grenade launcher is really the only one that I was a little lost about. Yeah, because there wasn't really too much grenade launcher usage in the Halo games.
Yeah, because like the grenade launcher and the shotgun are both from Marathon.
Yeah, to be honest, I get the fact why they did a grenade launcher, because during the 30th anniversary, because they dropped Grasp, they dropped Galley.
Yep.
So they couldn't do the OG, Halo rocket. However, what I think they could have done is one of two options. Number one, I think they could have made a heavy linear fusion rifle as a mock for the Spartan laser.
It really could have. And
they could have made, and if y'all remember, the OG classic auto rifle from Halo.
Yep.
They could have made that weapon. I think those are the two that they really lost out on. I don't think they really needed the grenade launcher when Galley got introduced. I think 100% they should have based another weapon off of either the Spartan laser or the auto rifle. I actually would have been a little bit more bigger fan of that. But we did get Forerunner based off of the classic Magnum, because Bungie loves giving the community old-time favorites. And for those of you that don't know, the Magnum was considered one of the strongest weapons in all of Halo history, because it hit like a fucking truck.
The right one.
Yeah. And in Halo 2, when they really started bringing in, dual wielding, you could dual wield a pistol, the Magnum, and a plasma pistol in Halo 1, but you really got to do a lot more in Halo 2, because a fully charged plasma pistol followed by the pistol headshot, the Magnum headshot, was basically a 1-2 combo punch kill for most enemies, and this was also on Legendary. Like, that will completely annihilate most mobs. So, yeah. Also, the fact that they gave Forerunners Catalyst the fucking frag grenade.
Yeah, that was probably the funniest.
I farmed the shit out of that. So yeah, that was really cool. Again, here are all the names. It's the BXR 55 Battler, the Wastelander M5, the Half Truths, the other half, Pardon Our Dust, and the Retraced Path. And so you can now get all of these by just playing Dares of Eternity and getting the Dares of Eternity Weekly Pinnacle Challenge. And it's basically a guaranteed. If you get the Pinnacle, it will automatically be one with a red bar, which is pretty dope.
Because, like, its drop rate is really low.
Yeah, so basically, if you go every week and farm it, for the most part, by the end of the season, you'll have, I think, half the patterns unlocked. And Dares of Eternity, as far as we know of, is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yep. According to what Destiny said, they are no longer interested in vaulting content.
Yes. Along with that, the Lightfall Collector's Edition has dropped, and people have already been pre-ordering, especially getting the annual pass for it. Along with that, we're getting some hotfixes, 6.2.0.3. These are the hotfixes that got fixed. Viewing the Valhond exotic ornament in the Eververse menu will no longer incorrectly tell players who own the 6th Coyote that they do not own the 6th Coyote.
That one was a fun one.
That's less of like a game-breaking bug and more of just a fucking meme. Because fuck 6th Coyote. That is getting a lot more use this season. The charged melee key binding no longer functions inconsistently with the Titan Thunderclap melee when in close range of enemies, which is also phenomenal. And then Storm Trance now correctly increases its damage over time when attacking.
So yeah, apparently Storm Trance wasn't increasing its damage.
Yet again, Warlock's getting a nerf. Oof.
So they had fixed that.
120 Hz issued. They fixed an issue with 120 Hz output options on Crucible or in Crucible on PS5s. They're working on it. They're working on it right now. These are other known issues, and this list is a lot smaller than it was before. So sometimes players can spawn outside of the room when fighting the War Priest.
That's pretty bad.
That's fucking hysterical. The Rift Law Sector is missing triumphs and incorrectly lists shields present. Which is
weird
an issue. We already covered the Robes of Nezarec with Nezarec Sin. The Arms of Optimacy ornament has misplaced geometry around it.
Yes, if you have that ornament on, or if you have those arms on, there's a little thing that's appearing like just slightly off of your character that's kind of floating around. It's really weird. It's kind of funny. But yeah.
The Dawn Chorus exotic doesn't appear in the collections, which is kind of an issue because you can only get it from doing law sectors. The expedition activity doesn't show any stats in the activity summary.
I wondered about that.
Now, the Xenology exotic quest isn't counting progress in playlist activities. That was kind of an issue. For those of you that don't know, the Xenology exotic quest is the quest that you use to get Xenophage, if I'm correct. Right?
I'm trying to remember if it's that or if it's the quest to get the exotic cipher.
Yeah.
Either way, not great.
Bad. Yeah, that's very bad because that quest is long as shit.
Yep.
Mind you, that is a Shadowkeep quest. And we all know what happened in Shadowkeep. They went back to, hey, go here, do this. Go here, do this. Go here, farm 5,000 fucking kills.
Yep.
That quest is not fun. I remember doing that quest. It is a bitch and a half. It is not fun. I'm really hoping that gets fixed very, very soon. Because Shadowkeep was free for a lot of players. During the first week of the season. So a lot of people got the quest. Because here's the thing. You didn't have to finish the quest before it ended. As far as I know of, correct? Like, as long as you acquired the quest, you could continue doing it, right?
Right.
So a lot of players, what they did was they acquired the quest, they acquired all of the major quests that they needed, and then they slowly are working through them. This quest is very important because Xenophage is one of the biggest meta weapons right now for boss damage and ad clearing in pretty much any PvE content, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, it's my standard go-to, other than Lament. Especially this season, because it got fucking overload rounds! Bruh, overload fallen captains can lick my balls this season. Holy shit! I was already gonna be using Xeno. It just made it that much better to use against literally the most annoying champions in the game. Because I think we can all agree, fuck overloads.
Yeah, overloads have always been like the glitchiest.
Yeah.
Should also mention heavy grenade launchers have been re-enabled.
Yes, they have been fixed, Sawa. Along with that, repeatable Star Child bounties can continue to be purchased when players have a full quest inventory.
that one's kind of funny.
Look, y'all wanted rank. Y'all wanted bonus rank. Get your bonus rank. Along with that, it is more Titans of the Week. Freak is Fire, the best melee ability in Destiny history. And then it's just a thunderclap charged melee montage.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking dumb. It one-shots barricades.
Yeah, no, it one-shots in PvP because it takes for fucking ever to charge that thing.
So if you can time it and someone runs around the corner, they're gonna get deleted off of planet Earth.
It is also why the exotic that they released with that got disabled immediately.
Because it was that fucking broken.
Yep. A little strong.
Yeah. Then there's Savior at Destiny 2 short movie, featuring, it looks like, Saint 14. Then Artist of the Week. We got Creed Design Co. talking with their Guardian. Hey, Dad. I'm just gonna. I'm hoping that every chat can read this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all about the. So, Danny, would you mind telling everyone about the why you should go gold for the month of September?
Okay, so like
because this is what this comic is about.
Yeah, the story of it is basically a dad asking the general player base of Destiny to use the color of gold in honor of all of the kids that have lost the battle to cancer.
And because the Destiny community is the Destiny community, everybody went gold. So much so that players that are not gold are getting bullied in the tower to go gold.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking great. And this is just kind of an ode to it. This is the father who plays Destiny on a regular basis, and I believe their daughter, who passed away.
Yeah.
Who is basically the ghost. And it is. Hey, we have a childhood cancer survivor who is also here and should support him. Should support him too with the gold. Agreed. Yes. When I log into Destiny 2 next, which will not be today, which will probably be next Monday, Monday night when I get home, I will be going all gold. I need to look up those shaders, by the way, because I don't think I own like half of them. But yes, absolutely, go gold for the month of September.
Yeah.
Give the kids some love. Along with that, a very small cyborg, with an arc eel, and it looks like the BXR the BXR battle rifle, and it's
I think
Warlocks.
It's no time.
It is Warlocks with all of their little summons.
Yeah, that's no time.
Oh, that's no time. All right. No, you're right. Um, yeah, and I think that's super cute. It's very rare that we really get a lot of Warlock love, so I think this is pretty dope.
Oh, another thing that would be interesting to mention is I've noticed today there has been a discourse on super tier lists. And most of the tier lists still have well at number 1 for utility.
The only reason why it is even considered number 1 is because they took away the overshield
Anyway,
and they gave it resist. But there's a lot of ways to get for Bungie to get around that. I have a feeling that once they make enemies that go through shields and armor, which is going to be incredibly toxic,
yeah.
well will drop significantly.
The main reason for me that well and bubble are toward the top is because champions exist.
Yeah, because it prevents you from getting one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is literally the only reason why they're good. Otherwise, if you look at most tier lists, literally the only Warlock super that's above C tier is well, which is placed in A or S tier for the most part.
Yep.
Every other Warlock super in both PvP and PvE is dog shit tier.
Like, the only other one that's even close is Nova Bomb, and not the tracking Nova Bomb.
Yeah, it's the go in a straight line and just pray to God you hit as many enemies as possible.
Yep.
Like,
because like Vortex is good for boss damage if you can hit it. Like if the boss is not gonna move, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So the issue that I always have to tell people, Warlocks do not need a nerf. Warlocks have some of the shittiest supers in the game. If anything, Warlocks desperately need a buff. Like,
Warlocks
badly.
do. The arc changes were not good for Warlocks.
No, they lost the one good thing that they had, which was Ionic Traces, because now every class gets Ionic Traces, and they use it better than Warlock does, which is bullshit.
And with Solar, they beat Dawnblade into the ground, even though it was already dead.
Yeah. Again, out of all of the light subclass 3.0 changes, the only good one for Warlock was Void, and that's not even because they buffed the supers. They basically did nothing to the supers. They just made it to where Devour is even more available. They made Devour available with Nova Bomb instead of Nova Warp. Of course I'm gonna fucking take that.
Yeah, like, Devour got really strong.
Yeah, but that is, for the most part, basically the only good thing that happened. They basically neutered everything that wasn't, and here's the sad part. Solar Warlock, other than literally the super for well itself, got nerfed into the dirt, and we did get a cool finger snap. Other than that, Solar Warlock, trash. Along with that, Arc Warlock is fucking worthless. Like, absolutely worthless. Why would you play Arc Warlock when you can literally play Titan or Hunter and do what Warlock's supposed to do, but better? The whole point of Warlock is you are ad control. You are ad control and suppression. When the other two classes do your job better than that, better than you, what is the fucking point? Like, I don't know what Bungie was thinking, and I'm sick and tired of saying that Warlock needs love. Like, Warlock keeps getting shit on over and over and over again. And before anybody comes into the comments saying, oh, but yeah, you're only a Warlock main. Yeah, I have all rights to say that then. As a Warlock main, my only character is getting shafted.
Like, for instance, you know it's a problem when people that don't primarily play Warlocks are saying it's a problem.
Yeah, both PvP and PvEers are saying that Warlocks are trash. Like, we don't even get the thing that we want to do. Like we're basically just well bitches. That's all we are at this point. We are Well, bitches. That is the only thing. That is the only thing that Warlocks are
Yeah.
good for nowadays. And even then, you might as well just run 3 Titans with Bubble. Fuck it. Like, you're honestly better off running 3 Titans instead of running a singular Warlock with Well. That's so sad.
Even better still, you could just run 3 Solar Titans if they've all got Loreleis and just never die.
Yes, you don't even need healing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part that aggravates me the most. So Bungie, please, if you watch this, for the love of fucking God, fix Warlocks. Fix Warlocks. You can leave Void alone for the most part. Again, I still think Void was the best one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Other than like maybe like a small change here or there. I think Void Warlock is fine. But Solar Warlock, Stasis Warlock, and Arc Warlock all need love. The exotics that they've gotten recently, half of them are fucking useless. Like, seriously, half of them are fucking useless. Who the fuck uses Dawn of Chorus?
Like,
Mantle of Battle Harmony's not even fucking useful at this point. Like, literally, the only good meta ones nowadays are literally Nezarex for, and
everything
that's Black
that gives
Void.
grenades too.
Yeah, it's literally Nezarex for grenade. What's the Solar Warlock one that gets the second fusion grenade?
Starfire.
Starfire for Solar. And Necrotic Grips. I don't even think... I'm gonna be honest, I don't think even Sunbracers are that good. Because they nerfed Warlock grenade damage.
They did do that a little bit, but I think that was a mistake, and they corrected it.
I don't remember.
Like, it was the Void grenades that were not doing proper damage.
Yeah, but again, why would you use Sunbracers when you can just have a second grenade?
Yeah,
like in my opinion, Starfire Protocol is still better than... Like, the 3 major exotics for Warlocks right now are literally Nezarex for Void, Starfire Protocol for Solar, and Necrotic Grips. That's literally it. That's the only good things about Warlock right now. Like, every other exotic has basically just been shafted to planet Earth and back. Like, every time Warlock gets something decent... Like, do you remember the singular week? The 1 week where Geomag's Chaos Reach was used in Crucible. It took 1 week for them to nerf that. It took 2 fucking seasons to nerf Stasis Hunter!
And I also remember when Nova Warp was released, and it was unkillable.
Well, yeah, and then they nerfed it into the fucking dirt within, what, a week? What was it? 2 weeks max?
It got over-nerfed. Like, severely over-nerfed.
Yeah. Bungie, stop fucking with Warlocks and let us have one good fucking thing. Like, goddamn. Let us be able to do one fucking thing that's better than the other 2 classes.
Like, literally, Void 3.0 is the first time since that nerf that Nova Warp has been usable.
And even then, you're still better off using Nova Bomb.
Yep.
Like, Nova Warp also has, what, 1 exotic? That's Astrocyte verse?
Yeah, and even then, why would you use Astrocyte? Like, just use Nezarex and that still.
Exactly. So, please, Bungie, fix Warlocks for the love of God. And that is it for the TWAB from Sam. So, overall, pretty decent. Again, the biggest thing about this TWAB was the weapon crafting for the Bungie 30th anniversary. Along with that, make sure that you are getting your expedition and catch crashes in, as the rotation for the catch crash will change after next week, and it will go back to the beginning, which I believe is the servitor, whatever the fuck the name of it is.
Or well, the big shank, whatever the big shank is.
Is it a shank? I thought. Oh yeah, no, it's a shank. You're right. You're right. So yeah. So Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's. I mean, they're over the course of like both of these TWABs, pretty solid stuff, overall. Again, the photosensitivity from last week and the weapon crafting from this week. What are your thoughts overall of these past two TWABs, Danny?
Overall, I think the big takeaway is the weapon crafting. I think they need to move more towards this kind of setup for overall weapon crafting. Like, stuff that is craftable needs to be easily acquirable. Otherwise, there's no point. Because at that point, it's just the same as just trying to farm for a god roll.
Yeah, trying to get the patterns is really difficult. Now, again, as a reminder, in Dares of Eternity for the weapon crafting, when you pick up a weapon, you still have the chance of it being a pattern, but if you get the pinnacle, it is a guaranteed pattern every week.
It is primarily, yeah. You get the pinnacle, it should be guaranteed a red border.
Yeah, and again,
How,
the seasonal vendor, which is the Atlas. There is a section, what are those called again? Where you put the fragments in or whatever, and you get specific perks. What is that shit called? But basically, you can select one of them, and the first weapon that you basically use an Umbral Engram on is automatically has a deep sight resonance proc for it. I did like the fact that they finally changed it to where it states whether or not it is an official pattern or not. So all of those deep sight resonance weapons, those red weapons in your vault, that are literally useless, you can finally get rid of those. And it will and if you dismantle it, it will automatically give you alloys, which is useful because most of the time it's going to give you literally like dog shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall not too bad. Yeah. Do you have anything to add on top of that, Danny?
Interested to see what next week's will be.
Yes, I'm very excited about next week's. With that being said, Danny, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch under Catbox Danny, and the same on YouTube. Just look for my face.
You can also find me on Twitter at DominiFox1. You can also find me here on Twitch at DominiFox and on YouTube at DominiFox. Along with that, there's going to be some changes coming up to our schedules coming up here soon. Again, we're going to be trying to do Trials Casuals podcast on a better date so that way we're actively getting the TWAB out when the TWAB is relevant. This will hopefully help with some stuff and getting our schedules figured out. God damn it, I forgot to do the question of the video again. God damn it. Alright, fuck it. The question of the video is, which weapon are you hoping to get the pattern unlocked first for resonance, for the deep sight resonance, from the 30th anniversary, and why is it the BXR? God, the BXR is so fucking good.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you so much. My name is DominiFox. This is Catbox Danny. Thank you all so much. We both hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, I don't know. I'm just gonna come up with something random. Stay casual is not catchy. What is something that's catchy, Danny? Something casual. I don't.
Hard one.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, don't. Oh, you know what? Here we go. Here's one, Danny. Because we are the Trials of Casuals podcast. Just remember, don't be a sweat lord.
That works.
Fuck it. We're going to go with it. All right. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Yeah, don't be a sweat lord. Take care, guys.